Unlock the power of the Socratic Method for peak performance. The paradox of certainty and the start of transformation. Hello. If you're here, it's because, like me, you feel that our era is drowning in information and starving for wisdom. We are bombarded with certainties. This is the way. This is the truth. Follow this formula for success. But in the middle of this flood of certainties, why do so many of us still feel so lost, so unsure of our own path? I call this the paradox of certainty. The more we're told what to think, the less we know what to feel. And high performance becomes a blind race, no compass, no map, driven by external validation and the fear of being left behind. But what if true clarity, true high performance, wasn't found in chasing answers, but in having the courage to ask the right questions? What if the greatest secret to uncovering your purpose was discovered more than 2,000 years ago in the streets of Athens? My work as a success archaeologist is to unearth mental tools that time has tried to bury, yet remain more relevant than ever. And the most powerful artifact I've ever found is the Socratic Method. At its core, it's not about giving answers, it's about forcing the mind to question its own beliefs. Socrates' mindset wasn't that of a teacher, but of a guide. He didn't hand over ready-made truth. He invited his students on an inner expedition to discover it themselves. He asked question after question, dismantling illusions and hollow certainties until the essence, the pure truth, emerged. Imagine if, instead of blindly following the next trend, you could apply that same mental discipline to question your own assumptions about what success is, what happiness is, and who you really are. Most people live life on autopilot. We do things because it's always been that way, or because society expects it. But genuine high performance isn't the absence of doubt, it's the curiosity to embrace it. The journey of every great leader or inventor began with one fundamental question: what if? Or, why not? They didn't accept the status quo, they dissected it. And that's the same approach I invite you to take. This isn't a video that will give you all the answers. This is a video that will give you the tools to find your own. Because your journey, your purpose, your discipline, they have to be yours. And that's only possible through honest, relentless questioning. Right now, as you listen to me, your mind is full of certainties. Certainties about what you should do, about who you are, about what's possible. But what if your performance, your resilience, your inner peace were being trapped by these very certainties? What if your freedom lay on the other side of a question you're afraid to ask? What if becoming your best self meant becoming your own Socrates? The practical action for the stage of our journey is a first, small act of rebellion. Take one belief you hold as certain. It could be about your career, a relationship, or even yourself. Now, dare to ask yourself, do I really know this is true? Or am I just accepting it? Don't rush to answer. Just feel the power of the question. That's the beginning. If the idea of questioning yourself to find true clarity resonates with you, comment "I question" below. If the video made you reflect, like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next deep dive in this expedition. Awakening doubt and embracing radical honesty. If you've dared to question one of your certainties, I believe something has already started to shift. Most people live their entire lives without ever doing that. And if you felt a discomfort, a slight unease, an empty pause, that's a good sign. That's the sensation of awakening. It's your mind freeing itself from the invisible bars that have been holding it back. The Socratic Method is not gentle. It's brutally honest. And true high performance is not achieved in comfort, but in the zone where growth happens. The zone of radical honesty with yourself. The mental discipline Socrates defended was an act of courage, not scholarship. It was the act of admitting, I don't know, and that is the seed of all knowledge. In our journey as archaeologists, we've unearthed tools from great masters who, for the most part, were misunderstood in their time. They were revolutionary because they dared to doubt. Think of the mindset of a scientist. A scientist doesn't seek to prove they are right. They seek to discover whether their hypothesis is wrong. They fall in love with the process of testing, questioning, and refining. That's the essence of the purpose behind innovation. How many of us treat our own beliefs with that same rigor? We accept them as facts, we build our lives upon them, and when they crumble, our resilience is put to the test. But what would happen if, instead of waiting for disaster, you became the architect of your own awakening, questioning your certainties before the world forces you to? The Socratic method is like the art of a sculptor. The sculptor isn't creating something new. They are removing what doesn't belong, chipping away the unnecessary stone to reveal the masterpiece already hidden inside. That's what I'm inviting you to do with your mind. Your clarity is imprisoned under layers of assumptions, fears, and voices that aren't yours. Your high-performance mindset is waiting to be uncovered. And the only way to do that is with the chisel of questioning, the chisel that removes the belief that you're not good enough, the idea that you're not worthy of success, the assumption that failure is the end of the road. The Socratic method invites us to be both the artist and the stone. It is a process that demands patience and the humility to admit that maybe what you've believed for years is wrong. But the freedom that comes with that is incomparable, the freedom to finally see the world and yourself with clarity. The practical action for this moment is about diving deeper. Take the belief you questioned in the first part and start exploring it with more questions. Use a journal or notebook. Write down your certainty and then ask, where did this belief come from? Who told me this? Is there any evidence that contradicts it? What is the opposite of this belief? And what would happen if it were true? Let your mind wander. Feel the strength of the questions. It's in this process that your true purpose will start to emerge, like a lighthouse in the fog. This journey has only just begun. We've only started to sense the power of questioning. True transformation, true high performance, is not about finding an answer, but about falling in love with the art of asking. If the idea of becoming the sculptor of your own mind inspires you, comment sculptor below. If this video opened a new perspective for you, like it and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next phase of our expedition. Questioning as a strategy for unstoppable success. If you've been following our journey, you're no longer just a spectator of your certainties, you're the architect of your questions. You've felt the discomfort of awakening and started sculpting your own mindset with the chisel of questioning. But what good is clarity if it doesn't lead to action? The Socratic method, in its most powerful form, isn't just a tool for introspection, it's a strategy for life. It's not about asking questions for the sake of it, but about using each answer to build a stronger foundation for your high performance. A Roman general didn't question his tactics out of idle curiosity. He did it to identify weaknesses in the enemy's plan and his own, so he could then create an unbeatable strategy. Your journey requires that same strategist's mindset. We live in a world that teaches us to plan based on what we see. But the greatest leaders in history showed us that real discipline is planning based on what we don't see, on what hasn't yet been questioned. Your notebook of questions, your reflection process, is your personal battlefield, and the answers you've uncovered are your troops. But how do you organize them? How do you turn them into a plan of action? This is where the Socratic method becomes your strategic tool. Your resilience for future challenges won't come from your ability to be strong, but from your ability to be flexible, to have a plan B, C, and D. And all of them are born from your capacity to question your own plan A. Think of one of history's great thinkers, like Leonardo da Vinci. He spent hours asking questions about the world around him. Why does water move this way? Why does a bird fly like that? The result wasn't just knowledge, it was flying machines, timeless works of art, and innovations that were centuries ahead of their time. The purpose behind his questioning was transformation. That's what I invite you to do now. Take your list of questions and the answers you've found, and start using them to build something. What has your questioning about your career revealed to you? What are 3 small steps you can take right now to test one of your new beliefs? This isn't about a revolution, it's about an evolution fueled by unshakable curiosity. The practical action for the stage of our journey is to transform introspection into action. Take your notebook of questions and answers. Look at the answer that surprised you the most, the one that dismantled one of your oldest certainties. Now, ask yourself a Socratic question about action. If this new belief is true, what is the first small step I should take right now that most people would never take? Don't wait to act. Do it now. It could be as simple as making a phone call, sending an email, or spending 5 minutes researching a new topic. This small act of discipline is what transforms knowledge into power. It's what turns clarity into movement. We've uncovered the power of questioning. In the next stage, we'll explore how the mindset of an ancient strategist can be your manual for mastering the future. Our expedition is only getting more interesting. If you're ready to turn your questions into strategy, comment strategist below. If this video inspired you, and subscribe so you won't miss the next deep dive in our journey. The dynasty of questioning and building your legacy. We began this journey with the discomfort of the paradox of certainty and armed ourselves with the oldest philosophical tool to find our path. You've questioned your beliefs, felt the power of doubt, and taken your first small step toward a new truth. But the Socratic method, just like authentic high performance, isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. Great leaders and empire builders didn't achieve greatness through a single decision, but through a dynasty of conscious choices and continuous questioning. Think of the great Egyptian constructions. Their discipline wasn't just in moving stones, it was in a mindset that sought perfection and alignment with something greater, passing down wisdom from generation to generation. They had a culture of purpose. Your legacy, your long-term high performance, will be built the same way, with your own dynasty of questioning. Our society teaches us to chase a final result, a finish line. But the Socratic method invites us to fall in love with the process. Picture a chess master. He doesn't question the game only to win the match at hand. He does it to deepen his understanding of the game itself. And it's that deep understanding, that clarity about how things work, that makes him a genius. And what is your purpose if not the game of your life? Your role here is not just to win, but to understand the game. Your greatest advantage will be your ability to see what others can't. Your resilience will be your capacity to adapt, to change tactics, to question your own plan when it no longer works. The Socratic method is your instruction manual for the game of life. The power to question yourself is your competitive edge. It's what turns an ordinary life into a legacy. High performance isn't about being the best, it's about being the most aware. It's not about having all the answers, it's about having the courage to live in pursuit of them. It's about the discipline to sculpt yourself every day, removing the stone that's keeping you from becoming the masterpiece you were meant to be. And that's our mission here. Together, we'll build your dynasty of questioning, one question at a time, one step at a time. The practical action for this final stage is about creating a habit. In your question notebook, write the following sentence: every day, I will ask myself one Socratic question about something I take for granted. Commit to doing this for 1 week. This isn't a task, it's a life practice, a sacred ritual for your clarity and mindset. Day 1 might be hard, day 2 might be easier, but with each question, you'll be building your dynasty, your legacy. Our expedition through the wisdom of Socrates has given us a tool for life. But our journey as success archaeologists is only just beginning. There are many more artifacts, philosophies, and stories waiting for us. If you're ready to start your dynasty of questioning, comment "My Dynasty" below. And if you don't want to miss the next chapter of our expedition, where we'll explore the code of conduct of the samurai, like this video and subscribe to the channel. The quest continues.